To find the best steak and cheese sub in all of the Boston area, I return home to Malden, Massachusetts. I return to the Big A. What's up, people? Welcome back to my channel where I share my passion for food in New England, especially food in the Boston area. You people have spoken. You want steak and cheese subs, I'm going to give it to you. But there is zero chance that I'm going to start this journey to find the very best steak and cheese sub. And I got a plow next to me. Hold on. Asshole. There is very little chance that I'm going to start the steak and cheese journey to find the very best in the Boston area without starting here. This is the very first sandwich shop, sub place, restaurant, whatever you want to call it, that I've ever been to. As a kid, I used to come down here and get the steak and cheese sub plain because you're a kid, you don't know any better. And of course, it's changed ownership through the years. And the product has changed. Guys, this is not the Phantom Gourmet. Every place I go to, I'm not going to tell you is good. Even the place I grew up on, I'm pretty much going to shoot it straight with you. So hit the subscribe button. That's the kind of content you're into. This is a staple of Malden. This is the Big A. Now let's go to work. Yes, for your entertainment purposes, I'm showing you that great ass again. I go to Philly all the time to watch some wrestling at the ECW Arena and to have some of the best cheesesteaks that you're going to have. Now, this search in Boston is just to try to find one that can come close. Because when it comes to the standard, John's roast pork and Angelo's, it's going to be next to impossible to find one in the Boston area that's just as good. We are rulers of the world of seafood, but Philly are the true rulers of the world of sandwiches. John's roast pork and Angelo's is the standard. Before I can get to the reason why we're here, I have to say that I did drive by my house. This is the home that I grew up in Malden, right off of Pleasant Street. Plenty of games of Relivio, street hockey, the house where I was inside playing Super Nintendo and dreaming of big dreams that basically never came true. This is Big A's. This place, the interior did not change ever through the decades, but ownership certainly did. Every time I'm in the area to go see my doctor, I stop at Big A's, and this is the third different steak and cheese sub I've seen, so it's at least 3 different ownerships. So I can't give you a review of the steak and cheese sub that I grew up on. This one was a little greasy. When you cook a steak and cheese on the flat top, you want to cook it, chop it up until it turns color, then you want to take it off so you can preserve all those juices and all that flavor. But that wasn't the case here. Cheap cheese causes grease. And when they cooked the sauteed veggies here, the peppers and onions, they were completely cooked down to mush. A soupy mush. The bread held up the oil from the bottom. That was the only good thing. But this was just a mess. The cheese, the steak were poor quality, wasn't seasoned. This wasn't a steak and cheese. It was a disgrace. I'm in the car! So now I could talk shit. For all of you who are wondering why I call myself The Real, you're wondering if I really do speak the truth to you. This is not the Phantom Gourmet. Every place I go to, I'm not going to tell you is good. And I'm not Dave Portnoy giving everybody a 7 point something. You know my ranking system. I don't do a 1 through 10. I tell you how much I paid for it. $15.75. And then I tell you how much it's worth. That sandwich was worth about $8. Such a downhill grade of where it used to be. This used to be my first sub place. It used to be my favorite. It's gone through 2-3 ownerships probably by now. That's definitely a different ownership group than I'm used to seeing. And the steak and cheese was made differently. I walked in the door and everything was done in 1 minute. I haven't even seen D'Angelo's do that. The steak wasn't good quality. The cheese wasn't good quality. The bread didn't get soggy on the bottom and held up, and the bread was pretty good. The bread was pretty much the only good part of that sub. This is The Real. I'm going to tell you how it is. I had to stop here, though, because this was the very first place that made me love the steak and cheese sub. The average North Shore beef could not beat out an average cheesesteak, or as we call it, a steak and cheese. Hit the subscribe button. This is the kind of content you're into. I've been seeing all your recommendations, and I'm going to get to all of them. That's worth going to. So stay tuned. this is the content that you're not into, then piss off. That's it, I'm done!